Dear students, welcome all of you in this session. Here we will discuss about the classification of lipid molecules. Okay, so before that, just a brief summary of the previous session that we came to know already. The lipid is diverse group of chemical compounds biologically available biomolecules which is actually readily soluble in different organic compounds due to non-polarity of its structure. Okay, and they're mostly insoluble in water. Okay, next they include fats, waxes, oils, hormones, and oils and hormones, all these things. And the important functions of lipid molecules are they are actually major structural components of any biological membranes. They function as energy source molecules, energy storage molecules, and they also act as different types of chemical messengers. There are diverse kind of functions for the lipid molecules. We will see one by one. Now we'll focus on the different physical properties, important physical properties of lipid molecules. Okay, first of all, solubility. You already know that lipid is very distinct in their solubility. They are only soluble in different non-polar organic solvents. Example of such non-polar organic solvents are ether, chloroform, benzene, etc. And they're insoluble in water. Next, they're odorless, colorless, and tasteless. Okay, being lighter than water, they have a specific gravity of 0.86. The consistency of lipid depends upon its chemical structure. That means it depends on the saturated and or unsaturated fatty acids. Next, lipid molecule can hydrolyze. Lipid molecule can hydrolyze in presence of acids or alkalis under the activity of a particular enzyme. That means lipase. This particular enzyme, whatever our dietary lipids we are taking day by day, this particular enzyme is actually acting on that particular lipid to break it down. From that, in that way, we are getting energy from the lipid molecule. So, lipase is the enzyme which, in presence of acids or alkali, can break down, hydrolyze lipid molecule. Okay, so acid hydrolysis result in the formation of its structural components. Unit structural components, these are glycerols and long chain fatty acids. Whereas if you hydrolyze in presence of alkali, it will result in the formation of sodium or potassium salts or fatty acids. It is also called as SOAPs, and this particular process is known as saponification. So what is saponification? The hydrolysis of lipid molecule in presence of alkali, which results the formation of sodium and potassium salts or fatty acids, which is called as SOAPs. Okay, and the process is also known as saponification. Next, we'll see it is the hydrogenation of lipids. The liquid vegetable lipid can be converted into solid vegetable ghee by reacting with hydrogen gas in presence of a catalyst, that is nickel, and high temperature, that is 200 degrees Celsius. This particular reaction is known as hydrogenation of lipids. Okay. Next, emulsification. In general, emulsification means the process of dispersing one liquid in a second immiscible liquid. Okay, in different ways. Okay, so the process of dispersing one liquid into second immiscible liquid is known as emulsifications. Okay, so dietary lipids, how they are emulsifying in throughout our digestive process. So when fats and oils are in presence of water and bile salts, the large globules of lipids are actually breaks down into smaller ones, forming the emulsion in water. This particular process is called emulsification. And you know that bile acids is very important for this emulsification process. And emulsification is very important for digestion of lipids. And bile acids are actually emulsifying lipids, dietary lipids, into smaller ones. That means to form the emulsions. It helps to form the emulsions. Next, the rancidity. When lipids are exposed to atmosphere, that means atmospheric heat, light, air, moistures, for more than a certain period of time, that is 30 days, okay, an unusual and undesirable odor is developed. Such type of lipids are called rancid lipids, and this phenomena is termed as rancidity. Rancidity may be of two types. One is hydrolytic, and the other one is oxidative. Now we'll go quickly, we'll see the different types of classification of lipids. Lipids can be classified into four categories as follows: on the basis of its chemical composition, on basis of fatty acids, on basis of its requirement, and on the basis of source. First of all, how we can classify lipids depend on its chemical structures. So lipids can be categorized in three ways: simple lipid, compound lipid, and derived lipid. Okay, so one by one, we'll see what are the simple lipid, compound lipid, and derived lipids. So what is simple lipids? As well as its definition says that these are the esters of fatty acids and glycerol. Keep in mind, only two components are there, simple components. That's why it is called as simple lipids. Okay, so fatty acids and glycerol. So chemically, glycerol is a alcohol. Glycerol is an alcohol. Just see the structure. You can see this is a simple alcohol. Okay, trihydroxy alcohol. You can see they are also called as this is the structure of glycerol, and this is fatty acid. This is the alcohol, that is the acid group, and this is the hydrocarbon chain. It is in general, we can mention it as R group. Okay, so this is glycerol and fatty acid. These two particular molecule combine to form one molecule of simple lipid. You can see this is the glycerol backbone. Here CH2 is coming from here, CH and CH2, and it is this hydroxy group is actually esterified from the ester bond with one molecule of fatty acids. So there are three hydroxy groups. Each group will esterified with one fatty acids. So one molecule of lipid contain one molecule of glycerol, which is esterified with three molecules of fatty acids. You can see these are the ester bonds, okay, and these are the different hydrocarbon chain. So R1, R2, and R3. So here, these are the ester of fatty acids and glycerol. They are also called as neutral fats or triglycerides. These natural fats make up 98 to 99% of food and body fats. Okay, suppose fats and oils. Okay, next, so we can define, example of simple lipids are fat and oils and waxes. So what is fats and oils? Fats and it is a simple lipid. It is not wax. It is actually fats. Fats and oils are simple lipid, which is an ester of fatty acids and glycerol. So if it is, you can see in fats and oils, only fatty acids and glycerols are present. Okay. Another type of simple lipid is waxes. A wax is a simple lipid, which is an ester of fatty acids and long chain aliphatic alcohols. So in case of wax, we can see instead of glycerol, other type of long chain aliphatic alcohols will be there. The alcohol may contain 12 to 32 carbon atoms. Okay, waxes are found in nature as coatings on leaves and stems, and the wax prevents the plant from losing excessive amounts of water. Again, a summary slide for the simple lipids. So simple lipid, simply it is an ester of fatty acids and glycerol. Mainly it may be two types, fats and oils and waxes. Fats and oils contain the ester of fatty acids and glycerol, and wax contain ester of fatty acids with alcohol other than glycerol. In commonly, cetyl alcohol is most commonly used. You can find in waxes. Okay, next we'll quickly see the what is compound lipids. Compound lipids contain, in addition to fatty acid and glycerol, some other organic compounds. So simple lipid, there was only fatty acid and glycerol. Here you can see with fatty acid, glycerol, there are some other organic compounds. Okay, so what are those? Depending on those particular other organic compounds, we can classify it in three ways: phospholipids, glycolipids, lipoproteins. So what is phospholipids? These contain phosphoric acid and nitrogenous base, and in addition to fatty acids and glycerol. Examples are lecithin, cephalin. Next, glycolipids, complex lipid containing carbohydrates in combination with fatty acids and glycerols. Example are cerebrosides. Okay. So next type of compound lipids are lipoproteins. Lipoproteins are the most important as they are carriers of lipids in the blood. Okay. And form cell membranes. Next, again, a summary slide of compound lipid, compound or complex lipid. So these are the ester of fatty acids, alcohol, and other groups like phosphate, carbohydrate, protein, etc. Based on the group present on, they can further classify. Suppose first of all, we'll talk about phospholipids. Here you can see fatty acids, alcohol, and phosphoric acids. Based on the type of alcohol present, they can again divide into glycerophospholipids, sphingophospholipid contain glycerol as alcohol. Suppose lecithin, cephalin. Next, in case of sphingophospholipid, contains sphingosine as alcohol. Example are sphingomyelin. Glycolipids, fatty acids, as well as alcohol and carbohydrates when present. These type of lipids are called as glycolipids. They contain sphingosine. What is sphingosine? It is another type of alcohol. Okay, so glycerol is a type of alcohol. Sphingosine is also one type of alcohol. In case of glycolipids, you can see instead of glycerol, there is sphingosine as alcohol, and hence it is also called as glycosphingolipids. Cerebosides and gangliosides are the type of different examples of glycolipids. Next, lipoproteins, macromolecular complex of lipids with proteins. Okay, LDL, VLDL, chylomicrons, HDL, all are different type of examples of lipoproteins. Next, we'll see what are the derived lipids. These are the derivatives of hydrolysis of simple and complex lipids, okay, which possesses the characteristics of lipids. These include lipid-soluble vitamins, steroid hormones, hydrocarbon, ketone bodies, mono and diacyl glycerol. Just keep in mind the definition of derived acids and different examples of derived acids. Next, there are neutral lipids. These are the lipids which are uncharged and are referred to as neutral. That's why these type of lipids are known as neutral lipids. These are mono, di, and triacyl glycerol, cholesterol, and cholesterol esters. Miscellaneous type of lipids are also there. A large number of compounds possesses characteristics of lipids. Such compounds come under this category. Examples are carotenoids, hydrocarbons, squalene, like pentacosone, terpenes, all are this type of miscellaneous lipids. So, in very brief, these are the different types of lipids, how we can classify it. Thank you very much, students.